Episode 144, the WordPress.com show. In today's episode, I share a chapter from my new ebook, How to Podcast on WordPress.com, and share 14 reasons why WordPress.com is a great podcast and website hosting solution. And you are listening to episode number 144 of Mike Murphy Unplugged. Learn, create, move forward. I am your host, Mike Murphy. I'm a one-man band, I'm a technology junkie, and I love helping people figure things out, and I am really excited to be here with you today. The goal of Mike Murphy Unplugged, it is to help you learn what you need to know in order to create online content so you can move forward in business and in life. So in this episode 144, I'm going to break down chapter 1 of my new ebook, Why Use WordPress.com as a Podcast Media Host. So today you're going to hear the 14 reasons why you should consider using WordPress.com if you are launching a new podcast and website. My entire brand in business is around helping people figure things out and sharing my knowledge and the tools and resources and guides that I use and things that I think will help you and other content creators. By teaching and sharing my knowledge through podcasts, video, articles, I am establishing myself as an authority, but I am also building trust with people who consume my content. People trust, 1, that I know what I'm talking about, and 2, that I believe in what I'm talking about, aka I am honest. I only recommend products and services that I believe in or would use myself. So these 14 characteristics or benefits of using WordPress.com, that was enough for me to write an entire ebook and guide for how to podcast on WordPress.com. Okay, enough of the introduction. Let's get into the 14 reasons why to consider using WordPress.com to host your podcast and website. Number 1, simplicity. You pay one price for podcast and website hosting, as opposed to my current setup for this podcast in which I have to pay multiple vendors. I pay Libsyn for my podcast hosting, I pay SiteGround for my monthly website hosting, and I pay Securi for website security as my website was hacked last year. So number 1, simplicity. Simple is good. Number 2, trust. As I explained earlier, trust is big for me. WordPress in general is trusted and reputable because they have been around for a long time. WordPress also has the technology infrastructure and financial resources to only get better, so you can trust that they're going to be there for you. Trust equals peace of mind. Okay, let's move on to number 3, which is a very big one, affordability. There are 3 plans currently available on WordPress.com. Every single paid plan includes a podcast, blog, website, and a free custom domain, turnkey, and affordable. And just to be clear, WordPress.com does have a free plan, but you cannot upload audio files on the free plan. So in order to podcast on WordPress.com, you have to start with at least the personal plan. Let me just give you a quick run through of what each plan is. Again, there's 3 of them. The personal plan, that's what I use for the ebook, podcast, and the website. It's $4 per month. You get 6 gigabytes of space to load and launch your podcast episodes. And to give you an idea of how big 6 gigabytes of space is, you can store about 230-minute episodes. Or this podcast is 15-minute episodes, so that gives me about 400 of these episodes. And at once per week, that should cover me for just under 8 years. The next one up is called the premium plan. That is $8.25 per month. You get all the benefits of WordPress.com, but you also more than double your space on the premium plan. And you also get access to all of the premium website themes. So you get a whole lot more themes to choose from. And the final plan is called the business plan. This is the big kahuna. This is under $25 a month for unlimited space with the added benefits of being able to install your own themes. You can install plugins. You can customize your website to your heart's content. Just let me go over this business plan really quickly. It is less than $25 per month for unlimited storage, unlimited bandwidth for your podcast and your website, okay? You get a free domain name, security, backups, all included. You get email and live chat support 24/7. You can monetize your site with e-commerce and PayPal integration. You have access to all of the premium and the advanced themes on WordPress, or you can upload any theme you want, such as Divi, which is what I use on my WordPress.org theme. You can also install all of your favorite WordPress.org plugins like PowerPress by Blueberry, which is what I use. That's right, PowerPress will work on WordPress.com on the business plan. WordPress.com is an affordable podcast solution. Okay, number 4, another trait that is very important to me personally and to my brand and business, and that is reliability. You don't have to worry about your website crashing. Your podcast and your website servers are going to work 24/7, 365 days a year. WordPress.com, they're known for using reliable server systems. They're optimized for uptime, security, backups, heavy bandwidth traffic. This means that your listeners should never have a server-based problem with streaming or downloading your episodes. Other platforms use shared hosting services, so when a shared server goes down, your site could go down. WordPress.com has a massive redundancy in place, so unless all of WordPress goes down, it is unlikely your site or your podcast is going to have any downtime. And WordPress.com handles the backups automatically for you, 24/7 peace of mind. It also handles the security, so you don't have to worry about doing your own security. Reliability, very important. Why? Number 5, customization. Personalize your website. You can add photos, audio, video, pages, polls, contact forms, links, comment threads, menus, widgets, and much more. So the personal plan, which is $4 a month, you are limited to the free themes, but there are some good ones there. There are some decent ones. I'll admit it's a little tough for someone like me who loves to design and tweak things, but if you go to How to Podcast on WordPress.com, that entire site was built using the theme that I suggested you get started with in the ebook, and you can see exactly how I was able to customize it. But if you want more design customization, if you upgrade to the $8 a month plan, you open the doors to all of the premium themes, which enables you to choose from hundreds of responsive, aka mobile-friendly themes for the look and layout of your website. And if you go to the big boy plan, the business plan, you can customize all you want. I like that, but keep in mind, if your main goal is just to get your podcast up and running and you just need a home base, the personal plan at $4 a month may be all that you need in terms of customization. Go look at my site, How to Podcast on WordPress.com. Okay, number 6, domain name included. I've already mentioned this, but it should deserve its own spot. All paid WordPress.com plans come with a free custom domain name, which is pretty awesome. So this means that you don't have to use a registrar like GoDaddy, and you can also renew your domain name every year through WordPress.com. Back to the simple of number 1, one-stop shopping. When you first sign up for WordPress.com, you are going to get a default domain name, such as yourpodcast.wordpress.com. So the free custom domain name that is included with all paid plans means that you can replace the free default WordPress address with something shorter and more professional. So instead of yourpodcast.wordpress.com, you can just have yourpodcast.com as long as that domain name is available. The free domain name is good for a year, and then you're going to be responsible for renewing each year, and the current renewal price is $13 per year. And FYI, you can also use your own domain name on any of the paid plans if you already own a domain name on GoDaddy or another registrar. Okay, let's keep the list moving with number 7. We're halfway through. Social sharing. Automatically send new posts to Twitter, Facebook, and more. Add social media tools to help readers share. Promote your podcast website easily on social media. While this is expected today, it is worth noting this is available on WordPress.com. With one click, you can post a podcast episode and also send auto notices to your social media accounts. Pretty nice. Because your podcast episodes are posted to your blog roll, anyone subscribed to your blog is also going to get alerted that your new podcast episode is available. Number 8, scheduling. Publish your episodes whenever you want. You can prep some episodes today and then schedule them to post at later dates. Perfect for when you're going to be away, but you still want to put your episodes out on your regular schedule. You can also batch schedule. If you are better than me and you can record episodes in advance, you can schedule as many as you want to go week after week or whatever your publishing schedule is. Number 9, flexibility. You can make changes to pretty much anything about your podcast at any time. Quickly and easily change your podcast name, description, cover art. You can also easily change the audio, title, or show notes of any individual episode that you have already posted. You can even remove an entire episode from your podcast feed. This is particularly great when first starting out, as you do not need things to be perfect because you can always go back and make changes. Number 10, multiple shows. It is possible to create multiple public podcasts and RSS feed on your WordPress.com websites. And each podcast or RSS feed can be submitted to Apple Podcasts, iTunes, and other podcatchers, and they're going to work independently of each other. Number 11, private podcasts. Just like public podcasts, you can easily create multiple private podcasts and private RSS feeds. Private podcasts are never going to appear in a search. They're never going to appear in Apple Podcasts or iTunes or other directories, but people can add them to their podcatchers just like any other podcast. And it is very easy to create as many private podcasts as you like. You just create a new podcast RSS feed, you post whatever audio content you want to that, and then you share that one podcast feed directly with as many individuals as you like. You determine who is going to be able to listen to that podcast. And when your listeners are going to add that feed to their podcatcher, it's going to look just like any other podcast, only it's not public, it's private. So businesses might use private podcasts for internal communications or to share information directly with their stakeholders. Schools could use private podcasts for courses, internal communications, or communication with students. Podcasters could use private podcasts to generate revenue by selling access to bonus, archive, and extended length episodes. Which leads me to reason number 12, monetize. You can recoup some of the expenses of producing a podcast and make some money with your website through PayPal integration and some other ways. Here are some monetization ideas. E-commerce. Incorporate PayPal buttons to sell items or services directly from your website. Ideal for selling podcast swag, merch. Access to private podcast feeds is another option. Maybe you can collect monthly payments similar to Patreon. You can create a PayPal subscribe button on your website, which will allow listeners to give you monthly donations. Sell old episodes. Switch some of your older episodes from your public podcast feed and create a new private podcast feed and sell access to that private new feed. Similarly, sell bonus episodes. Post new bonus content on a new private podcast feed and sell access to that feed. And your last monetization idea, a really easy way to recoup some expenses and promote a service you love, sign up for the WordPress.com affiliate program. If you sign up for WordPress.com using my affiliate link, I get a little commission. You can do the same by just signing up for the program. And if you do want to sign up using my affiliate link, just head on over to mikemurphy.co/WordPress. I would appreciate that. Think of it like a tip jar. Number 13, we're almost at the end. You get a free WordPress mobile app. The WordPress app is awesome. This will allow you to manage your website on the go. It includes a free mobile and desktop app. It works on iOS, Android, Mac, Windows, Linux, etc. This is not an app for your listeners. It's an app for you to manage your WordPress.com site from anywhere. You can view stats about visitors to your sites, approve or delete recent comments to your site, and even post text or photo content to your blog. Okay, drum roll please. Reason number 14. This is a big one. Own your content. This quote is right from the horse's mouth. It's on the WordPress.com feature page because it's that important. Here is the quote. Whatever you create on WordPress.com is yours alone. Export your content at any time. Wherever life takes you, your content follows. This is a big deal for me and should be for all content creators. One of the biggest benefits of hosting your own content on your own site versus a third-party host is you are in complete control of the content that you work so hard on. So that last one, number 14, is a big one. Own your own content. So that's really way more than 14 reasons why I feel confident to recommend WordPress.com as a legitimate podcast and website hosting solution, and why you might consider using it for your next podcast or website project. So if you listen to my Storytime episode, number 142, about the professor, I told you that I had not thought about WordPress.com for years. And quite honestly, as I did my research and learned about WordPress.com more, I was really quite surprised and impressed about how much things have changed from the last time that I even looked at WordPress.com, and just how awesome some of the built-in features really are. Okay, I'm going to wrap up today, and I'm going to go through all 14 reasons really quickly of why you should consider using WordPress.com as a podcast and website media host. Number 1, simplicity. Pay one bill for podcast and website hosting. Number 2, trust. WordPress.com and WordPress is a household name. Number 3, affordability. I pay $4 a month for a podcast, website, and a free domain name. Say no more. Number 4, reliability. The technology of WordPress has your back. Number 5, customization. Make your website and podcast how you want it to look. Number 6, domain name included. As long as it is available, all paid plans include a free custom domain name. Number 7, social media sharing. Easily share your podcasts and post via social media. Number 8, schedule. Publish your episodes on time. Number 9, flexibility. Make a mistake in your last episode? No worries. Swap out the audio file and fix it. Number 10, multiple shows. You can create multiple RSS feeds under one account. Number 11, private shows. Want to create a VIP feed for your patrons? Easily do so on WordPress.com. Number 12, monetization. Recover some of the costs of producing a podcast with PayPal and e-commerce solutions. Number 13, get a free WordPress app to manage your website from all of your mobile or desktop devices. And finally, number 14, own your content. Whatever you create on WordPress.com is yours alone. WordPress.com is like everything else in life. It is not perfect, but there are 14 really good reasons that convince me that it is a podcast resource that I can confidently promote and suggest. It might be a perfect solution for many people. And if you are on the fence, these 14 reasons should help you with your research and doing your due diligence. And if you have any questions, as always, about anything, you can always email me at mike@mikemurphy.co. The show notes today will be at mikemurphy.co/EP144. And if you want to check out the website that everything about today was about, you can go to How to Podcast on WordPress.com. I thank you for joining me today. I hope you join my one-man band. And together, we can learn, create, and move forward. Cheers.